Blog Talk Radio.
Oh, it's time to get real. Oh, yeah. It's the new experience. RealitySpirituality. Yeah, keep your ears open for this one now. RealitySpirituality. You got a question for RLN? RealitySpirituality. Yeah, it's time to get some answers, baby. RealitySpirituality. Oh, now we get real.
Welcome, everyone, and time to get real on this beautiful and wonderful Easter Sunday. Easter Sunday. Thank you. You're listening to Reality Spirituality, and I'm your host, Rebecca Lynn Norrington. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. Reality Spirituality is every week we share strategies and techniques and tools and ways to remain connected to the universe, to remain happy, to remain peaceful and content internally, regardless of what our external circumstances are. And on this special day, Easter is a special day for me. It just goes back to growing up and how my mother just made Easter one of the most special days in my life as a child. But before we go on to our show, I want to thank all of my listeners. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your emails. You know, Reality Spirituality has a Facebook page, so go to Facebook and just input Reality Spirituality. It's a new page, maybe about a month old, maybe a little bit longer, but go and like our page. Thank you so much for your comments and your questions. You know, you're always welcome to call in the show and be a guest with me. The guest number to call in at any time live is area code 646-564-9619. It's 646-564-9619, and all calls are welcome on all subjects. This show, Reality Spirituality, is ever evolving. As you were listening to last week's show, as I evolve, the show evolves, and that's just the way life is. Things that I was sharing a few months ago, guess what? It has evolved. Like one example is, I used to talk about negative energy, and now I've discovered there's no such thing as negative energy. It's just all energy. And I want to share with you that's what this life is about, always evolving. Yesterday is done. It's over. And there are new observations, new ideas, new perspectives that just come at you every moment, if you will, if you just open your arms and take a few deep breaths and just be receptive to it, receptive to change, receptive to maybe your ideas that I'll never or I will always think like this. I mean, just be receptive to changing it all up. Just like the caterpillar turns into a butterfly. I mean, listen, the guy's up here, a ground dweller, and all of a sudden he can fly. So I don't even know where I pulled that out of, Jesus. But the idea is just to be open to change. And when you're open to change, I have to say, your growth is just comes about in lightning speed. And when I say open to change, I mean open to change externally, open to change internally, the way you're thinking, the way you're feeling. If something always made you feel sad, then guess what? You can choose to have another emotion. You can choose to have another emotion. Say death always made you feel sad, whether it's a close person. I don't even know. And you know why I'm talking about this? Because it's Easter. That's why. And whether you're an atheist, whether you believe in God or you don't, the famous story of Jesus Christ died on the cross and died for our sins and came and arose, and that's another example of changing your emotions from being sad about death to accepting and also looking at the gloriousness, if you will, of the grandeur of the. I mean, if Jesus didn't die the way he died, he wouldn't be the person that he is, the spirit and the energy that he has all of the followings today. So was his death sad? Or was his death something to be celebrated? We all can make that choice. That's what's so interesting. My reflections on Easter, it's fascinating because I grew up. It's fascinating. I think it's fascinating. I grew up in a home that we went to church every Sunday, and in my opinion, I loved it because I got to play dress up. I had new outfits, and especially on Easter. Oh my goodness. Easter we went shopping a month before to get my Easter clothes, my Easter dress. I had to have my patent leather shoes, and they were either black or white, or when I got a little bit older, meaning older, 12 and 13, patent leather, they had colored patent leather shoes. So I even had some yellow patent leather shoes. And always with the Easter hat, the Easter gloves, the new Easter underwear, everything was Easter, 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 Easter clean. And that's what I remember more than anything. And, of course, the story about, the famous story about how Jesus was tried and proven guilty for treason and tortured and mocked and put on the cross and nailed to the cross and suffered for hours, and he actually, in the middle of being suffering and stabbed and mocked and had rocks thrown at him and verbal attacks, this person, Jesus, said, "Forgive them." During all of his, being in the middle of being tortured, said, "Forgive them, because they don't know what they're doing." Now that's some pretty powerful shit. Somebody is torturing you in the middle, in the middle of it, you look at them and you ask God, ask the universe to forgive them. So one of my favorite lessons, and one of my most important lessons, is this power of forgiveness. And forgiveness is so powerful that it's easy to say, "Oh, I forgive someone. Oh, and they hurt me, or or whatever somebody's done to you. I forgive you. Let's move on." But it's different when you look at forgiveness and instead of putting it out on someone else, you really have to forgive yourself first. If you're not able to forgive self, if you're not able to look inside and say, "I forgive myself for," fill in the blank. Forgiveness starts with you. Forgiveness starts with looking in the mirror. And what are some of the things, I'll just share with you some of the things I can forgive myself for. Because if you're not able to let yourself off the hook, how the hell can you let someone else off the hook? And it's really, really, really important. And I'm going to use a word that I really don't use, but it's really serious when you don't have the ability to forgive and don't have the ability to forgive self. Because basically, in my opinion, you're walking around just every day with the slow poison drip. Forgiveness for what, though? I'm only going to use my own examples. The hardest person, the most critical person I have met in my life, I have discovered, I've had the pleasure to hang out with, was not my mother, was not my father, was not my best friend in junior high, high school. No, the most critical person was myself, was me. It was like I didn't like myself. It was like I was lazy, didn't do enough, didn't eat right, didn't exercise enough, didn't whatever you can think of, I didn't do it. I didn't do it, or I wasn't doing it. And letting go of everything I thought I should be, or I thought I could be and wasn't, or I thought I should have accomplished by now. Letting go of all of that is basically forgiving. Forgiving those thoughts, forgiving that energy of I wasn't enough, I'm not enough, I could be doing more, I could be more. And I have to share with you, audience, I don't have this 100%, but one of the things that one of the paths that I'm really on these days is to really recognize who I am, who I really am. What am I doing here? What am I doing here? What is my purpose? And this is it. It's very simple. I am a spiritual being experiencing this human experience. I might look human, I might sound human, but in reality, I am a spiritual being experiencing this human experience. And that's all it is. And when I align myself with that thought and that idea and that foundation, that I'm basically the universe choosing to be human for a speck of time, because you know it took billions and billions and billions, I don't know, what is it, 100 billions of years to form this earth? So I'm here for a speck, not even a speck. It's even quicker than a blink. I'm here for a blink of time because the universe chose this moment to be human through me. I hope I'm making sense. So, number one, I am a divine a divine entity. I am a divine spirit internally, inside. I am spirit first and human. Not human second. I'm not even going to say human second. I'm going to say and human also. But number one, I am this divine creature. And I chose to come back, and I chose to experience this particular lifetime in this particular body. So when I really, really get that, and I really know that, then what is my purpose? If the universe chose to come back through me at this particular time, really, what is my purpose? I'm going to share with you what my purpose is right after this commercial message. Come back with me. You're listening to Reality Spirituality. Come back.
Oh, it's time to get real. Oh, yeah. It's the new experience. Reality Spirituality. Yeah, keep your ears open for this one.
And we are back. You're listening to Reality Spirituality. I love to do that. Let me tell you what I do when I take a commercial break. I get a little bit of water. I get my fan out. I just do a couple deep breathing techniques just to relax in the moment. But you're listening to Reality Spirituality, and I'm your host, Rebecca Lynn Norrington. I wanted to share with you what is my purpose. Now, I want you to also close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and feel if this resonates with you. My purpose, my only purpose, is to get in the Bugatti. Now, for people that don't know what a Bugatti is, it's only the most expensive car in the world. I think it's over $1 million. It's called a Bugatti, and the only reason why I know what it is because I listen to rap, and that's what people talk about, the Bugatti. Anyway, so that's my purpose, is to get into the Bugatti, sit back in the passenger seat, and let the universe drive. Because the universe chose to use this body, this particular time, to use me, if you will, this physical me, Rebecca Lynn Norrington me, chose to use me to live this life, to experience this time. And I have to tell you, my dear listeners, I spent a lot of time reaching over and trying to move that steering wheel for the universe. Oh, no, universe. We're going over here. or else I'd reach my left foot over and try to put on the brake. Oh, no, universe. Stop. No. So I spent a lot of time, and I got to say, sometimes I still do it, resisting the ride, resisting the journey, resisting where the universe wants to go. Can you imagine resisting the universe? Can you imagine? Well, I can, because listen, I've done it most of my life, resisting. And you know how I know I'm resisting? I could feel it inside every cell of my body. Anytime I resist anything, any circumstance, any person, any idea, any thought, whatever it is, anytime I resist, I suffer. Now, when I say I suffer, what I mean to say is it just doesn't feel, it's like putting on a pair of shoes that are 3 sizes too small. Now, there's nothing wrong with wearing shoes 3 sizes too small. I've done it more than once. I did it last week. But it sure does feel good when that shoe comes off. So see, no judgments, no labels for resisting or not resisting. All I got to say to you, my dear audience, is I'm going to try to wear the shoes that fit, that are custom made for me. I'm going to try to wear these custom made shoes more than putting on these shoes that don't fit. And circling all the way back to forgiveness. Yeah, I put on some shoes that didn't fit, and I knew they didn't fit, and wore them anyway. And guess what? The universe designed that too. The universe created that too. The universe was ready. The universe was ready for me to try to grab that steering wheel and move off the path or move to another path. Listen, they're along for the ride. It doesn't matter to the universe whether I'm feeling comfortable or not. The universe is going to still feel, this energy is still going to feel, is still going to do their thing. They're still driving. It's my choice. How am I going to be a passenger, looking at all of the scenery and being in awe of it and loving every moment of it? Or am I going to be a passenger? We should have turned left. We're going the wrong way. Stop the car. Today, I'm going to use this day as a Thanksgiving day. A day to be thankful, a day to be grateful for everything that has happened to me this year and everything that didn't happen to me this year. And everything that should have happened to me this year and everything that shouldn't. I mean, I'm going to be grateful for all of it. Every single moment. Whether I felt good about it or I didn't feel good about it or I anxious about it or I was agitated, irritated about it, or whether I was expecting something you didn't expect, whatever it is, I'm going to use this day to just open my arms and say, thank you, universe. Thank you for driving me. Thank you for choosing me. Thank you for choosing me in this journey. And I'm going to embrace this the uncertainty of my life. I'm going to start loving the uncertainty of my life. And I'm going to ask for, because anytime you ask, you get it. And I'm going to ask the universe to take over my days. Take over every single one of my days. I'll be a passenger, a willing passenger. I'm ready. I've done it the other way. And I like the passenger sitting back with my hands behind my head, with my legs crossed, sipping on something really, really nice, and enjoying the ride. I'm going to start getting out of my own way. And back to this Easter story, back to Jesus before he was crucified. He had the same conversation. And it was held in the Garden of Gethsemane. And the conversation was, damn, I have to do what? I'm going to have to be tortured and whipped and nailed to a cross and beaten and mocked and spit on and stabbed and this is your way of this is what you want, universe? This is what you want? If you remember the story, Jesus basically had a little argument there in that garden. He says, hell no, I don't want to go. No, thank you. Nailed to a cross, beaten, tortured. Do I really have to? I don't know about that, God. I mean, that's your plan? Can you imagine? And Jesus struggled with it. Very famous time. He struggled with it. And this is the best part. He was with his disciples, and he told his disciples, he said, "Hey, stay awake. I'm going to pray to God. You know, can we get out of this big mess that I'm about to, you know, that's lined up? Can we get out of this? Hey, can you disciples stand around me and pray with me?" And guess what they did? All of them. And I use the disciples as the disciples are our co-workers. The disciples are our parents. The disciples are our loved ones, our partners, our husbands, our wives, our sons, our daughters, our brothers and sisters. Those are our disciples, those people around us. And so Jesus asked his disciples to do something. He asked them to stay awake and pray with me. This shit is big. Pray with me. I don't want to die like this. And guess what his posse did? Guess what his disciples did? They went to sleep on him. They went to sleep. Which brings me to the other point. The only relationship is you and the universe. The only relationship I have is with the universe, number one. These other people, these people that I know in my life, this mother, this father, this coworker, all these people, relationships, all these people have just been created. They've just been created. They're players in my life. So yeah, Jesus went to pray, and all of his people that he asked, "Can you do this for me?" No, they weren't dying. They weren't being crucified. They went to sleep. And Jesus had the argument. Please, I don't want to do this. He actually begged God. He says, "I don't want to do this." It was the biggest example of resistance ever. And can you blame him? I don't want to die. I don't want to die like that. And Jesus said that God's will is hard, but God holds every card. And when the universe is holding every card, you either jump on or you suffer. And so while Jesus was and so in this Garden of Gethsemane, and Jesus finally said, okay, your will. It's your will. You do whatever you want me to do. You live through me whichever way you want to live through me. And guess what happened? Jesus was crucified. Jesus was tortured, forgave everyone before he died, and in 3 days, the guy comes back to life. And the guy is, I mean, come on, known throughout all history. And the interesting thing is his lessons, Jesus' lessons, the lessons that he taught, are the same lessons that the universe is trying to teach us, that we are all divine. Jesus said the same thing. One of his famous lines was, you all are going to do greater acts than what I have done. One of his lines was, you have the ability to be greater than me. This divinity, who we really are, who I really am, this divinity is what I am going to focus on from now on. Because you know what? If I really know that I'm divine, if I really know who I am, do you think that I would have a problem with anybody or any circumstance or anything that happened to me? When I really started to wrap my head around being a divine creature, number one, all my issues, all my problems, all my complaints didn't even just started to cease to exist. When I really get it, that I am divine and I'm here just so the universe can experience this time, that's it. And who I am, who my spirit, the energy that I am is never going to die. I'm just here to experience. I'm just here to experience whatever. How could I have a problem? How could I complain about? How can I be dissatisfied with what's going on? How could I be dissatisfied with reality? It's interesting because, there's so many things to be dissatisfied with. There's so many things to be unhappy with. There's so many things to get my feelings hurt over. There's so many things to have conflicts with people. There's just so many. If I'm human. If I live like I'm human. Man has a list of complaints that would circle the globe and keep circling forever. But when I come from a place of knowing that I'm divine and knowing that that's who I really am and there's nothing wrong, there's nothing I have to do, there's nothing I have to be, there's nothing I have to live like, there only what I've inspired to do, only what the universe inspires me to do. There's nothing wrong. Everything is in order. Everything is going according to plan, the divine plan. The ride just gets easier, more beautiful, more joyous, more blissful. I'm more relaxed. And that's what I ask for every single day, universe. Just give me my day. I'm going to stand over here. I'm going to sit in the fan section, and the universe is on stage. Give me the show. Give me whatever. And thank you for it. Give me your show. Give me your plan. And thank you for it. Thank you, because I don't have to do anything anymore. I just have to enjoy the ride. Let's all start enjoying the ride on this Easter Sunday. Oh, well, that's all that I have time for in today's show. I want to thank you so much for listening. Feel free to email me at any time at info@RebeccaNorrington.com, info@RebeccaNorrington.com. And if you'd like information on the coaching programs that I offer, you can visit my website at www.RebeccaNorrington.com and go to the private sessions tabs. Also, like Reality Spirituality on Face page. But until next time, remember, my dear listeners, you have one of the greatest gifts from the universe. And the greatest gift from the universe is your ability to choose. In any given situation, in any circumstance, or in any relationship, you and you alone, you can choose how you want to react, and you can choose how you want to feel. And you can choose to be human, or you can choose to be divine, or you can choose to be both. You are that powerful. You are the only animals on the planet that have this choice. So I want to ask you, and I want to leave this with you. How are you going to spend the rest of these precious moments of your life? How are you going to spend the rest of these precious moments of your life? You've been listening to Reality Spirituality, and I'm your host, Rebecca Lynn Norrington. Happy Easter, everyone. Talk to you next week.
Oh, it's time to get real. Oh, yeah.